This week, Jose Calá from Calá Cigars is here with us as well as your uncle, did you say, right?
Yes.
Luis Rosario Imbert.
Imbert.
You say it way better than I do. Thank you for that. Very, very excited to have them both here in studio on the show today. We're going to do kind of a discussion interview segment with them both to start the show off. Then we're going to talk about some big cigar questions in true Stogie Geeks fashion. We're going to talk about common things that kind of bring about questions that we have about cigars. Why your cigars unravel? What is that substance on my cigars? Is it a sunspot? Is it plume? Is it mold? What is that? So we'll get into some more technical topics as well. And then we'll do our Stogies of the week. Lots of great stuff to talk about. I know we're still working on kind of the latest round of review cigars that I purchased for everyone. So we'll check back in and see how we're doing on a lot of the great selections that we've had recently to choose from. Thanks, to me. Thanks to these guys for hanging in there and smoking those cigars. I know some of them had to be really tough to get through. So all that and more on to this episode of the Stogie Geek Show. This is a Security Weekly production. Broadcasting live from Villiger North American Studios, it's the show where cigars burn slow, ashes fall fast, and cocktails flow steady. It's the Stogie Geek Show. Many of you don't like the Patriots, and quite frankly, those of us on the show today don't really care. Then we're gonna. Joe Hollywood joins us. Welcome, Joe.
How are ya?
He's on point.
What's up, boys?
It's definitely a cigar. What's going on? We need that. It's like a classy straw. It's like metal and stuff.
That's a stainless steel straw.
It's already bent. Don't try and bend it anymore because it's metal.
You're so strong, Joe. Bend that straw.
Brought to you by
Havana Cigar Club, located in Warwick, Rhode Island, is a great place to enjoy a drink and a cigar. Stogie Geeks listeners can find a $5 off coupon on our website by clicking the HCC logo.
Welcome, everyone, to the Stogie Geek Show. This is episode 238. I am your host, Paul Asadorian, joined here in studio. Everyone on the show today is in studio. We've got lots of special guests and friends here in studio, including a regular cast of characters, Mr. Joe Hollywood to my right.
How are ya?
Well, Joe Hollywood, you get I love this watch, by the way. Yeah. I've been meaning to compliment you on the boxing watch.
It's a sundial.
Thank you.
It is. Awesome. It looks. It's very, very big.
I love this watch. I used to collect watches until this was given to me 2 years ago, and I never took it off since.
And that's it. Nothing can.
If you guys want cheap watches, just go in my house, take them.
Nice.
It's awesome. Joe D's here. Rain Man's here. What's going on, Joe D?
Roundtable discussions. It's my favorite format right here.
Yeah, you had a good weekend. You were sending some pics over this weekend and some stuff.
Yeah, you were some great stuff. Can't wait to
I smoked some of the same stuff like this morning too. So nice. We'd have some notes to compare. So it's awesome.
I didn't think that far. So I was like, "Oh, this is great," but I can't. Did you do the dusk? Did you do the? Are you reviewing that? Yes. Oh, I'm excited to hear about the review. So
yeah, I haven't done my review sticks of the recent one, so that'll be good. Our special guests in studio today. Now, is it both your first time to Rhode Island? Is that
Yes.
Is that so? Jose Calá and your uncle Luis Rosario. What he said. I can't, for some reason, I can't say that.
In English, it'll be Ebert.
Oh, okay. There you go. I can say Ebert.
Yeah.
The best of them.
Doesn't sound as good.
It doesn't sound as good.
No.
So, Luis and Jose, welcome to the show today. It's wonderful having you here.
Thank you for having us here.
Glad to hear that you're visiting Rhode Island. It's your first time.
Yes.
And you've decided to stop by the Stogie Geek studio to do a show with us.
Much appreciated.
And it's your birthday.
Tomorrow, yes.
Yeah. Which we're going to have to celebrate all around.
Definitely.
By first doing a show.
That's first.
Which some of us call this work. Right?
Yeah, this is pleasure.
Now is the time when you get to relax and just do the show. All the work thus far is really in prep.
Yes.
The guys do a lot of work after the show, of course. I go off and do other things. I just try and look pretty and do a bad job of it, really. That's my job. But now you've brought some cigars with you today, and these are very special cigars, which are very good. By the way, I know we've been talking, and we just lit up and smoking. Very, very good. Why don't you give us a little background and history on this cigar?
Well, this is the first blend that my uncle did for me, and he says, "Listen, we're going to do something special, and the only thing is that you're going to have to age these guys at least a year." And he says, all right. It took me about a year to get my licenses and things rolling in the business. And I said, we could roll. Don't worry about it. 3 years ago, on my birthday, that's when I announced to all my friends and friends that did smoke that I was going into the business. So this cigar is about 4 years after it's rolled. And it's excellent. I mean, it's one of the first blends that we ever came out with. And then we started doing other blends. He told me, listen, this has to, in Spanish, it's called, they have to marry each other. All these flavors have to marry each other. And the only way this thing could really marry each other and get together is if you let this thing age. You just can't mass produce and sell them because it's not what a cigar is all about. It has to be aged. You're going to get flavor. You're going to get aroma. You're going to get all the three components that a cigar has, that makes a good cigar.
Now, Luis, I know you're going to translate for your uncle. I've worked in a lot of factories in the Dominican. How common is the practice to let a cigar age for that long as a fully rolled cigar before it comes to market? And is a year about an average, or does some age more?
Me está preguntando qué es lo que es el proceso, si es mejor dejarlo que se añeje el tabaco. ¿O sacarlo de una vez?
No. Porque tiene la amonia, le molesta en la boca.
He says that,
la amonia y no se siente bien. Entonces el aroma queda adentro cuando tiene como un año. Entonces uno lo huele y sale el olor bien porque está bien concentrado el tabaco de adentro. Está bien concentrado y por eso sabe bueno, pero de una vez no es bueno porque tiene la amonia muy fresca.
Yeah, he says that you have to let it age because there's ammonia in the tobacco. Obviously, when they do the pilones, they water them down, so it's fermenting. So this fermentation gives a big smell of ammonia. I mean, you go into these rooms and you can't stay there long. You have to get out of there. So he says no, because it gives you too much of a peppery taste when a cigar is not aged, and you need the cigar to concentrate itself, and just make that marry, flavor, and then you can, start, tasting that flavor and the smell, and that ammonia is gone, because that's what you want. He says, listen, you don't want the ammonia around.
And the only thing that could take care of that is time.
It's time. Yeah, that's it. The longer it is, the better it is.
This has a very, it's not full bodied, but it has a lot of depth to the flavors and really a lot going on in terms of, I think, body and a little bit of strength, considering it's 4 years old. Is there something in the tobaccos that accounts for that you want to talk about on the show? You don't want to give away all your secrets?
Let's see if he wants to talk about it. Me dice que el tabaco está bien bueno.
Esto tan bueno.
Sí, pero ¿qué es lo que es el secreto de ese tabaco saber tan bueno? Que si usted quiere decir el secreto o quiere, yo le digo, bueno,
yo lo hago.
He says he makes them. That's it.
That's
it. He's done with
el secreto está adentro, aquí, ahí, no aquí, ahí.
Yeah, he says the secret is in the burn, in the front of the cigar. It's not around it. It's in the front of the cigar. Obviously, as you start taking that toke, you start getting those flavors, and it starts in the beginning.
Está ahí en la mente.
Yeah, he says it's there in your mind. That's what you want to do. That's when I had the first interview that I told you that, he wanted to do something that would take somebody out of their zone into another world, and that's what these cigars are supposed to be doing to people. It's like your flavor. You're not even, how could I say this? Your surroundings, there's no surroundings. It's just you and that cigar and the flavor, and people could be talking to you and you just, everything is blocked.
Well, and I get that from this cigar because being 4 years old, sometimes I find in my own personal humidor, if I take a cigar and I put it down for 4 years, it loses some of that like punch. So when you told me this was aged 4 years, I'm like, wow, it still has a lot of like grab you by the seat of the pants, like, get your attention for being 4 years old. So that's awesome.
Dice que él ha dejado mucho los tabacos de él también sentarse 4 años, pero cuando se lo fuma pierde su calidad, y esto teniendo 4 años no ha perdido la calidad.
Si lo deja 4 años, la pierde.
Es lo que se ha fumado, que lo tiene en el humedor.
Si tiene 4 años, se cae.
Pero dice que esto no, que tú tienes todavía...
No, pero que eso, porque esos no tienen 4.
Sí, estos tienen 4
Como
años.
3
y algo. Y un año más o menos después que nos enrollamos, porque no hicimos la fiesta hace 3 años, cuando iniciamos.
Es que nosotros ese tabaco lo tenemos muy bien con Cibao. Y por eso quizás es que eso se mantiene. Nosotros tenemos bien con Cibao. Por si uno lo deja así, bota la sustancia y se jode.
Yeah, he says that we kind of baby these guys. You know, it's not the same as you having them in your humidor. It's like the process that it goes through, and where we keep them nice and concentrated. That's why these things have that punch. Yeah, it's a lot of people, they think that just leaving it in the humidor is it, but the process of when after it's rolled and the process you give it before it comes out to the market, that's where the whole secret is. That you could have it in humidor, but it's still going to leave the punch, because that's been in my humidor about 4 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's really good.
Oh,
I like
thank
it.
you.
I like it a lot. Now, were you at the IPCPR?
No, we didn't go this year. We had a lot of things going on. Like I was telling you, I had my family up here in Boston as well, and then we had the show, so we wanted to just concentrate on family and obviously the show, my birthday coming up, so we skipped it.
I gotcha.
Yeah.
What's your assessment of the industry today? And I know a lot of people are going to be talking about that because of IPCPR. I don't really want to talk about FDA so much as how you view the industry today. Like, what are some really positive things going on in the industry today? Where do you see us going next in terms of some trends that might be coming up in the cigar industry?
Well, I've been speaking to a lot of people in the industry, and they've told me that a lot of these guys, like AJ, you know, they're doing new blends constantly. You know, all these big guys there. So my feeling is that I think it's not going to blow away, but yeah, you know, it's going to be fine. I think we're going to be all right. You know, because these guys are constantly doing new blends. And the problem comes with the new blends, you know, after 2007. Everybody has to register them. So these guys are doing new blends, so that makes me feel good. Yeah, definitely. I think we'll be good.
We're marching forward, basically.
Yes.
Yeah. No, that's
regulations, like I said before, more than likely, it's going to happen. Because you got to regulate.
Yeah, it's inevitable that the industry will succumb to some form of regulation.
Yeah, I think there's so many blends out there that maybe they're losing control of who's out there and who's selling, you know, tobacco. So they want to control a little bit, which is good. You know, that's not bad. You need control.
How do you view consumer taste and consumer demand changing over time in terms of people demanding different sizes, you think, different strengths, different flavors? Like, how has that demand changed over time, and how do you foresee it changing in the future?
Well, as far as that demand, it depends where you're at. You know, let's say my cousins in Maryland, which they're doing a great job, Ramon and Socrates, hello to them. Thank you for the job that they're doing out in Maryland. We find that these, they like the bigger gauge, ring gauges. In Florida, they don't mind the 56, you know, 50 by 6. As far as the flavor, I mean, it's all the palate. I mean, it's all where you're at and what cities. You know, there's some people that like the full body. You get Miami, they love, a lot of these guys like the full body. As in Maryland, they love this blend. I mean, they say even a woman could smoke this. You know, and a man could smoke it as well and enjoy it. So I think it all depends where, you know, where you're selling and what these people are looking for. But there is no actual, like, demand that this is what they want.
Right.
That's why you have to diversify.
You're right. It differs per region.
It differs
And we've heard that
per
from
region and
countless manufacturers saying that
right.
some stuff. I mean, that's why you have to have multiple lines, right?
Absolutely.
To appeal to all of those different markets.
Yeah, there's people that like the Connecticut. You know, I'm okay with the Connecticut. You know, I like the Habano wrapper and stuff.
I think it's one of the more challenging things for cigar manufacturers, though, because we do a startup security podcast here, and I follow businesses and startups. And Joe certainly, you have a whole business podcast, correct?
Yeah.
Still to this day.
Yeah.
And so what I think is interesting is when I watch a show, like there's a show called $1 Million Genius, right? And it's people that come up with an invention and they take it to market. A lot of their inventions, like there's not too many variations based on a geographic region, right?
Right.
Like this one guy made a ball that bounces on water, right? Now he finds people in beach populations but he's got like one product that he's trying to find all these different market fits for. You know, the person, he developed a George Foreman grill. There's only so many different, not too many variations of that that's going to change, the buyer.
Right.
In cigars, though, you've got all these different flavors. It's more like being in a beverage like soda. I think it really complicates that marketing and bringing your product to market.
Yeah, to answer that, look at the wines.
Yeah.
I mean, my son likes Pinot Noir.
Today, right?
Today.
But his taste might change. As my tastes have changed in wine and beer and spirits.
Yeah, so that's why there has to be a multiple, diversified amount of different palettes out there, so you have to do different flavors and stuff. Yeah.
One thing that I think is also kind of interesting along those lines is a lot of people that I speak to, usually in the local area, they'll say, well, I don't like that cigar. And they could be referring to a Maduro cigar. They could be referring to a size. They could be referring to an entire manufacturer's complete line of cigars.
Yes.
I'm like, what do you mean you don't like that many? I'm like, have you tried every single size and blend from that manufacturer? Well, no, but I don't like that. I only smoke Robustos, and I don't smoke. Well, have you smoked a couple of different Lancers? No, not really. Just one. At one time.
Yeah.
How, as you as the ambassador to the brand,
yes.
How are you able to educate people to get them to expand out to try different things?
Well, it's not just the wrapper itself. It's the filler. That's what I would tell a lot of people that are stuck on, let's say, I just like Maduros.
Yeah.
Well, you could smoke a Maduro and you think it's really strong, but it's not. It's not. Because sometimes, it depends on the filler. So that's why I would tell them, listen, just don't go by the wrapper. You have to taste other cigars.
Case by case basis.
But case by case. Make sure your cigars that you're buying, they're aged. At least maybe 6 months or so. Give time for that cigar to. Don't go out there.
I like that recommendation because I often revisit after 6 months.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I would tell them just don't get hung up on the wrapper. Try different because the filler is very different, and different regions have different kind of fillers. I mean, like he was telling me that the soil itself depends on what part of Dominican Republic you're buying. The soil is not the same. So that's my answer to that. Guys, just go out there, try them all, make sure they're aged. Don't really look at the wrapper itself, and just try them. And you'll see you're going to probably find a bunch of them that you're going to like. There are a lot of good cigars out there.
It was pretty fascinating, actually, when we were just talking before the show about Tobacconist University, and it was actually Jorge who was commenting. He said, a lot of people will say, I either like or don't like this priming or this leaf or tobacco from this particular region, but there could be multiple farms in that region.
Absolutely.
Maybe a question for your uncle is, what are some of the other factors other than soil that makes essentially the same plant and the same priming from a similar region but different farm?
Okay.
How different can that be, and what other factors are there in that?
Me está diciendo qué clase de factores hay en los tabacos, sabiendo que hay regiones, suponer en la República Dominicana, que usted me ha dicho que hay lugares que el tabaco es mucho mejor por la tierra, pero ¿qué otros factores puede tener uno para decir este tabaco es bueno, aparte de que sea la tierra?
No, eso es por la tierra.
Yeah.
Es por la tierra. Ya los buenos son los de la canela,
Okay.
y lo de Villa González no es bueno. La canela,
Yeah. He says it's the soil.
lo mejor.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah,
It's
that's a
that
part.
much of a factor.
Yeah.
canela.
Yeah, that's
Se pone fuerte, bueno.
yeah, he
y
says
sabor,
there's a
un
region out in
sabor
our
bueno.
country called La Canela. It's like a synonym in English. And that region of the cigar is really good cigar versus the other places that, they don't make them.
Porque hay lugares que la tierra es débil, pero esa es una tierra muy fuerte, buena, pero hay tierra débil y así sale el tabaco, malo, porque es débil por la tierra.
He says there's some weak soil. And I could probably iterate with that too. I did farming for about 6-7 years in Florida. And it's true. It's like the soil, if you exhaust the soil, you're not going to produce the same amount of fruits or vegetables. In Florida, they do a lot of tomato and stuff like that. So they kind of they grow, let's say, tomatoes now, and then they'll grow something else. And sometimes they'll even grow these weeds, and then they'll burn these fields. And that carbon burn enhances the soil. So what I'm thinking is that he's telling me is that, yeah, it's weaker because maybe they just pound the hell out of these soil, just doing a lot of these plants, and they don't give a chance for the soil to rest.
What's the normal timetable before they turn it over and
And what's that?
and burn the area?
Oh, it's kind of wild.
Like a 5-year window or
No. They actually they'll pick the crop, let's say of tomato, and they'll let these weeds grow right after. And then months later, you see these big fields. They look like corn, but then it's not corn. And then they'll burn. They'll let it dry up. Then they'll burn it. Yeah.
That's a good natural way. My grandfather always told me to add peat moss and lime to my garden every year. But my garden's only 5 by 5. Imagine like it's really expensive when you've got acres.
Yes. Yeah, and it all depends. There's some places that you probably won't put a lot of lime because the lime controls the pH on the soil. So that depending if your pH is not in line, then you would put some lime in it to line up the pH on the soil, which the plants need to regulate pH. Some plants will probably like acidic soil, others would not. So it depends what you're growing, and that's what I would say to if you like the little farming stuff. Home Depot 666 is one of the best fertilizers for small guys like you doing your little thing at home, because that has the same amount of content of each mineral in the fertilizer.
Interesting.
Yeah, so you kind of balance everything out. So 666 is like you're balancing out your soil.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I haven't maintained my garden since I had my third kid. It's been hard to maintain the garden. It's been
tabled.
Yeah.
Put the kids to work. One of them
Bridzel.
Yeah. Well, here you don't have a problem because come wintertime you have a great excuse.
That's it. You got to bring them in.
You got to bring them in. You can't work them.
Joe, do you have
question?
questions for Jose?
I have a question, but I always
Not
have
a question. I just want to comment on the cigar. I'm loving this and tasting haze, cedar, and the age in the cigar. And with all the Calá Cigars, it's like I'm left with a clean palate.
Oh yes.
Which I haven't experienced in any other cigar.
Yeah, I don't want to spoil you with that one now.
Before, during, and after cigars. No, with your other cigars
the others as well.
It's
maybe there's something we could ask my uncle so he could
there's something too. I haven't
iterate to that.
That's actually a good point.
Not
That's
that
a
I've
very good
smoked
point.
It is.
everything, but everything
It is.
that I have smoked to this point, I haven't been left with like that clean palate taste afterwards.
Yeah, I tell you, I have a very good friend of mine. I invite him to the house, and I says, well, let's smoke a cigar. I had some wine. He says, no, I'll have it after the meal. I says, no, come on, we'll have a cigar. And so we have the cigar. And then he's done with it. And then he tells me, man, I was afraid this is going to leave a lot of tobacco taste, and then I can't eat my food and dinner. And I says, no, man, this is... And he goes, and I'm going to tell you something, which surprised me. And that's how all this thing came around. I'm like, all these people gave me this positive, reviews on the cigars, and then you think this is a normal guy. He's telling me, he says to me, my dad was one of the guys that ran Partagas in Cuba. So this guy knows cigars. And I go, I didn't know that. He goes, well, I can tell you, your cigar is very good. Doesn't leave this taste in my mouth. I could have dinner right after and have another cigar too. Me están diciendo, tío, que el tabaco de nosotros no le deja un sabor en la boca a uno después que uno solo fuma de ese tabaco. Como si la gente fuma mucho cigarro, que se le queda ese sabor.
Nicotina.
Sí, dice que el tabaco de nosotros está muy bueno, pero no deja ese sabor después.
No, que eso está curado para que no le deje eso.
Yeah, he says that's aged. Yeah, that's what it is.
What I find is it has a lot of character, and I think that some of the other cigars that I smoke that are on the market today, and this isn't a detriment to anyone, but I think it appeals to different tastes. But
yes.
Other cigars will have a spicy component, a peppery component, or a strength or nicotine component.
Right.
And they're using those to add character. What I get from smoking your cigars is it just has a natural character to it, right? It doesn't have to really draw upon some of those other characteristics.
Right.
It has its own unique character that, like, I can't put my finger on it, but it's just really good, and it's not like, oh, that cigar was really spicy, or, you know, that cigar was really strong. It's like all of those things, but with good character.
Él dice que el tabaco de nosotros tiene buen carácter, que no es un tabaco que sabe, que tiene ese picante. Que tiene demasiado, dice que tiene un balance bien balanceado, que tiene un carácter bien bueno. Entonces, ¿qué es lo que hace el picante? ¿Por qué muchos de los tabacos tienen ese sabor de picante?
Porque no lo han curado el tabaco que tiene adentro. No está curado, está nuevo y se siente hay seis nuevo, medio nuevo, muy fresco. Pero si es un tabaco muy viejo, bien curado, no le sale eso. Pero si uno lo hace con el tabaco fresco, que no tiene muchos años, sabe a eso, por eso.
Yeah, he tells me that the peppery taste in the tobacco is when you first roll the cigar, the filler and you know, your ligero and all that stuff, it's new. It's new. It's not aged. So, you know, it has to be aged, it has to be dried, it has to be processed. So if it's too new, he says, you're going to have that peppery taste. But enhanced. I've spoken to people that love the pepper.
Yes. Sure. Yes.
Right. They love the
pepper.
pepper.
That's what I'm saying. No one's really wrong.
Yeah, nobody's really wrong. Like it's just the palate itself. And, you know, to him, it's, no, this is not aged. I mean, not that aged after you roll it. The cigar, the filler, when you're buying it or you grow it yourself and you're trying to roll it yourself, you don't let it age. And that's where this pepper is coming from. So, but in other hands, there's people that like it. I have friends that tell me, I like that peppery taste.
Just a time in the marrying of flavors like you said earlier.
Yeah, you got to marry those flavors, you know, and again, it's all to whoever's palate, you know, the people that like that and others that like that real strong cigar and strength, meaning that they like to taste tobacco, you know.
You know, it's interesting, kind of along those lines. Jose Blanco gave us advice about how the best way is to enjoy a cigar. So, Luis, what's your advice and all your experience to maximize your enjoyment when you have a cigar?
Me dice que lo que es el entretenimiento de usted, de gustarle un tabaco, porque hay mucha gente que tienen, otro clase de entretenimiento. ¿Cómo usted se siente cuando usted se fuma un tabaco bueno?
Yo me siento orgulloso. Y si soy yo que lo hago, más orgulloso me encuentro. Porque yo sé cómo yo lo combino para que el sabor salga como le guste al cliente. El sabor, la combinación adentro.
Pero cuando usted se lo está fumando, ¿qué?
No, yo me siento grande. Yo me siento grande, pero si no sirve.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, he says that the cigar has to, you know, if it's a real good cigar, it has to lift you up. It's not something that's going to, you know, drag you down. He says that he feels good when he blends his cigars and he smokes them. One, because he says he blends them himself, which we cannot, but, you know, and he knows what flavors or, you know, what leaves to put together to make this cigar appealing to a lot of people. And that's what his enjoyment is. It's basically seeing all of you loving it, you know. Eso es lo que le dije a ellos, que usted, la pasión de usted en este negocio es ver que ellos están fumando un tabaco y lo están viendo que le está gustando.
Sí, porque
que esa es la pasión de usted.
Sí,
eso es lo que
sí,
usted,
porque si uno hace así. Así, y huele bueno, uno se siente grande.
There you go.
Y si,
He says
y si yo lo hago, yo con mi mano, lo hago, que se lo comen.
Picture speaks volume, 1,000 words, right? There it is.
he says, he just demonstrate how he tastes the cigar.
Pero yo lo hago
You know,
así.
it's like I was telling you before, Joseph. You know, so this guy, he's on FaceTime, and he goes, puss, and
No, eso no
you know,
sirve.
he says, hey, that's just throwing smoke. So he says what he does is he inhales it. You saw him, you know, that's the passion behind it. And he says, and if I make it, forget it. It's you know, that's where my passion is seeing all of you loving the cigar and actually tasting it. And he says he likes to make them that people will want to eat them instead of freaking smoking them.
Very good.
Yo te voy a decir algo. Yo te voy a decir algo. para que lo diga. Dile que cuando yo estaba haciendo lopo, que eran un tabaquito chiquito, así 1, 2, 3 eran de 4, yo me sentía grandísimo, porque yo lo hice en 93 y 94.
Okay.
Y cuando eso salió al año, a los 2 años, explotó el mundo. Pero eso lo hice yo, sudado ahí.
Y eran tabaquitos chiquiticos.
Chiquito, pero combinado, bien combinado. ¿Y quién son esos? Se explotaron el mundo.
Yeah. He says when he was working in Fuentes, you know, they started working on the blend for the Opus. He says there were small little cigars, and they let them age, you know, about 2 years. And he says after they came out on the market, just blew up the market, which is true. I mean, you know, that's one of the best cigars out there today. And still, he's not even doing them, but you know, they got the recipe for that. I mean, those cigars are consistent. You know, it's like I told you before, his son is the one now running that part of blending. You know, le dije que Ariel es que ahora.
Ahora, yo lo entrené, yo. Yo he entrenado, no sé, ellos no lo conocen, Santiago y Tamborí, la mitad de República Dominicana, yo he sido el maestro de todo.
Wow.
De todo allá.
Yeah, he says that, you know, he trained his son, obviously, and he's trained in Santiago, that's where we're from, and Tamborí. He's trained half of the people that are doing cigars today. He's trained them, most of the, he says everybody, but, you know, that's his.
Y yo fui
Don't change my words.
y yo fui a República, ¿cómo es? Donde yo estaba en Suiza y Holanda. Yo estuve en Suiza y cuando yo estaba allá, Davido, que estaban allá, yo fui a representar a República Dominicana con el tabaco. Ni Davido ni cubano se me acercaban a mí. Nadie.
Yeah. He says he went to Switzerland to represent the Dominican cigar. He says that not even Davidoff or these other brands could you know, get close to what he was representing as far as the cigars that he was blending.
Nadie.
Yeah. Pero era como tú estabas con la fuente que fue a Suiza.
Que yo fui a representar a República Dominicana para engrandecer el tabaco.
Pero ¿con quién tú estabas trabajando ahí?
Con Carlos.
Con Carlos. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Ahí nosotros explotamos todo ahí.
Yeah. He says that they went there to represent, you know, the Dominican Republic and their cigars. You know, Fuentes, Carlos. The old man.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Y donde
very
Lito
close to
duré
the old
3.
guy.
Donde Lito fui a reparar todo 3 años, que él me dijo que lo ayudara. Y yo fui y le puse la cosa donde estaba a Lito Gómez.
He says, yeah, that Lito Gomez from the floor, he worked from 3 years. So he had told him, listen, I need you to put this thing in place, you know, the whole blending thing. And he said it took him 3 years and he got this whole thing rolling for him. Yeah.
Some of the early cigars from La Flor Dominicana are ones that I really, I mean, I enjoy their cigars today.
Right.
But I remember the ones with the flower on them. What was it the original ones with the flower on the band? That they just re-released.
Yeah.
The older ones that had age on them, they were like from when they first got started.
Right.
Small batch number one, like all those were.
Yeah, dice que los tabacos viejos de Lito
Eran mejores.
eran mejores. Yeah, he says, yeah, they were much better.
Porque él usaba un ligero Nicaragua. Había uno doble ligero, que eso ponían a uno así. Entonces, aparecía poco ligero. Y cuando yo llegué, lo vi. Y fue que lo debilitó, le dije que estaban malos. Y le devolvieron.
Yeah.
Y fue que le sacaron la mitad de la fuerza que llevaban los cigarros. Se lo quitó porque no había tabaco.
Yeah, he says that there was a special tobacco that they were using from Nicaragua. And when he got there, he toned them down. Because obviously they used to put double ligero, so he toned it down due to there wasn't enough out there for them to do that production. So lowering it enhanced and made a great cigar too. Yeah, so it's like
I've told Lito this and others from the floor. Some of the my favorite cigars in history are like the factory press series. They had factory press 1, 2. And 3, yeah, just fantastic cigars.
Dice que tenían tabaco número 1, 2 y 3 de prensa, que era el que él le gustaba.
Negro, sí.
He says they're black,
negro.
like that?
Yeah,
like real dark? Yeah.
Big crates. They came in big crates.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Cuando yo llegué,
You're not talking box press.
Yeah, they're boxed. They call them
press.
factory.
yo sé lo que dice. Cuando yo llegué, lo metían en la prensa faltándole tabaco y salían así.
Como
Y tienen, morroñoso así porque estaban por debajo. Entonces, cuando yo llegué, ellos me decían que no podían hacerlo más bonito y tenían que quedar así, cuadrados, pero así.
Ya.
No así.
Okay.
Quedaban buenos y yo lo puse así. Pero esos son buenos, lo que él dice.
Sí, yeah, he says the ones that you're talking about, they're good. And when he went there and he started working, they used to come all wrinkled. And they said they couldn't fix it because he says they have to be smooth. Like
Yeah,
top.
yeah.
And that's how, he told him what he had to do and make sure that's why they look like that now. Yeah.
That's awesome.
That's really crazy,
Love,
ain't
man,
it?
love it. 50 plus years in the.
Oh, come on. It's just,
Yo arreglé muchas cosas.
yeah.
Él me pidió a mí que, porque hay un tabaco, si tú pones el tabaco así, que está muy tostado, tú le haces así y tú crees que es de picadura, porque le daban mucho caliente. Entonces yo lo caimé y que lo llevaran a reposar una semana ese tabaco. Ellos lo daban directo y se volvía a tierra y el ligero Nicaragua se estaba perdiendo. Entonces por eso lo debilitó un poco. Entonces yo lo mandaba a reposar 10 barriles para allá. Y entonces se cogía eso y lo que se estaba secando se guardaba una semana a reposar y se cogía ese que venía fresco, que no se rompía y el tabaco quedaba entero y sabía a lo que tenía que saber.
He says, yeah, that they had not a problem, but I mean, like you would grab them and hit them in the front, and the filler used to like come out because they were drying them too much. So you would think it's not a full leaf. You're thinking, yeah. So it's like he says,
it was mixed filler almost.
yeah. So what he did was he would get them after they go through that process and put them to rest. ¿Por qué tiempo lo dejaba más o menos descansar?
Una semana.
At least a week. Resting.
Para que muriera bien.
Yeah, so it could just die down a little bit more and it doesn't flake off. Yeah.
It's awesome.
Yeah, huh?
Joe Hollywood, you had a question.
Oh yeah,
Hanging on to that one for a while. Sorry.
I want to talk business a little bit. I want to talk business. Correct me if I'm wrong. You started 4 years ago on your birthday, so you're coming up on a business anniversary.
Yes.
Okay, so 4 years in business. Not the blends or the market position or anything.
Right.
Is there anything you would do differently in the business Because when you start a business and then you learn every day, or you should learn every day, right?
Right.
Is there anything that you would do business because is there anything that you would do differently? And the reason why I'm asking is because your stance, you're on a shelf with other cigars.
Yes.
Very competitive market.
Yes.
It's very palate driven. Sometimes it's brand name
True.
driven.
True.
Sometimes it's driven by tattoos and hot rods as opposed to cigars, right?
True.
Sometimes it's driven by names as opposed to the cigars.
Right.
Sometimes it's driven by collaboration as opposed to cigars. Like, you know the point I'm trying to get? So the point I'm trying to get at is at the end, what do you think the next 4 years are going to bring for your company? But what would you do differently outside of experimenting of the blends in business?
Well, outside, I wouldn't do anything different.
Okay.
As far as the structure and what I've done, because I always had this mind that in business, you're going to start something and you're going to be there for the long haul.
Sure.
Okay. You got to start slow.
Yep.
I mean, you got to crawl before you start walking. You got to start slow. You got to, take in all the different ideas, all the different negativity things, all the little problems that are going to come, and take it. But if you start real big, real fast, you're going to fall real quickly because there's going to be a mistake. And boom, you're out of the market. So I started nice and slow, and he knows it. And I told my family, listen, this is something that we're getting into. We're gonna not compete, but you're gonna be out there with people that have been doing this for.
Sure.
So my thing with this whole thing is, business wise, take it easy, take it slow. Let's see, let's grow the business. But the most important thing is, I had this man. The guy that would do the cigar that knows, listen, you're going to give this cigar to somebody and they're going to love the cigar. Now, as far as business aspect, I took it nice and slow, made sure I learned from it. Okay. And 4 years down the road, who knows? It's going to be incredible.
Did it go by fast, the 4 years?
Yeah, it kind of did. Kind of.
Right, it does.
It does.
Yeah.
It does. 4 years really went really quick.
So what do you think the future is? Next 4 years, what are you going to try to?
We're going to try to. Well, I want to stay as a boutique. Okay. I don't want to be out there mass producing. I want to give a good cigar to somebody. And keep it as a boutique. That's where I want to be at. You want to smoke a good cigar? You're going to spend $7-8, but this cigar is going to be good. You're not going to spend your money and say, oh man, I wasted $7 on something that was no good. And that's the way I want to be. I want to be boutique. I want to just not stay small. We're all going to grow, but grow gradually. So 4 years down the road, it's going to be really exciting.
Yeah,
really exciting.
Yeah. Because you seem comfortable with whatever regulation comes down.
Yes.
You obviously seem comfortable, and patience is it's in your whole blending process. It seems to be in your business model.
Yes.
Having patience and actually aging the cigars.
Yeah, you have to have patience.
It's a sharp contrast to the startup mentality that we have today with so many businesses that are like, I have an idea. I don't have any customers or any products yet, but I'm going to take $250,000 in seed money, and I'm going to go start building my business.
Right.
It's a totally different.
Yeah, but you could tell who are those people. It's like we were talking about before. He says, "Listen, I've tried all these cigars, and they all taste the same."
Yeah.
So what these people are doing, they're going out there, and somebody in Tamboril is making cigars for a whole bunch of different people, and it's the same thing. So what we concentrate in is being boutique, being different in flavor, because you said it. Listen, I smoked this, and it's a good cigar. And that's what this industry is happening in this industry. A lot of people, they just go get rings done. They will go to Nicaragua or Dominican Republic, and they'll go to a place that just does cigars. And let's go, put the ring. And these cigars that they're mass producing are probably not even aged.
Sure.
Yeah. And they're going out, and then I got to hand it to them because they're really good salespeople. Yeah. Because they're doing real good. They're doing real good. Yeah. They're selling, tons of them. But you smoke them, and you go, it's like smoking a big cigarette,
Yeah.
right?
I like your methodology of built to last, do it right.
Yes.
This might be a slow process, but in the end of the day, Joe could speak on the business end of it, like that flash in the pan, that quick success, but it's also a quick burnout rate too.
True.
That's the burn of the cigar, but
yeah, we're not sprinting. We're going cross country. Yeah. We want to be around for a long, long time.
Yeah, the cigar itself has a bunch of unique characteristics, and that was a great point that you made. It does leave your palate clean. So
Yes.
definitely tell him I said thank you.
Yeah. Dice que muchas gracias por los tabacos que le trajo, que usted le trajo.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He did a good job. He did a great
he
job.
surprised me when he tells me, "Hey, you got to bring the ones that we first came out with."
Yeah,
it says, "Man, I'm gonna, these guys are gonna taste something different." He goes, "Yeah, I want them to taste something different." I go, "Okay,
Nice.
fine. Well, let's bring this out there."
What I like too is that it hasn't lost any steam.
No.
At all.
Nope.
At all.
Consistent.
And it hasn't changed. Sometimes when you get towards that final third, it'll get really rich and heavy or tar. It's just been clean and consistent.
Yes.
Because cigars will do one of two things towards the end, right? They'll start to lose steam, they'll lose gas,
Right.
Or they'll just start to amp up in strength so much that you lose a lot of the flavor.
True.
Your cigars did neither.
like you say, Paul,
Yes.
often the cigar doesn't know what it wants to do. Kind of bouncing around, playing all over the place.
Yeah.
This,
And these are not available. Is that they're not available for sale?
Great question. Great question.
Right?
They're definitely going to be available for sale.
Okay.
Actually, my cousins are selling this in Maryland and Washington D.C. like crazy. Yeah, if you see in their Instagram, you're going to see that ring, and that's the first blend that we did, and yeah, that's moving like crazy. I'm more towards the ones that we're doing now, the ones that you smoke. It's a different blend completely. It's something that me and him just, sat down and said, listen, let's go and try these cigars. We did the perritos, like I said before, and we came up with that blend. And we says, listen, okay, let's stick to this. This guy, he got that good because it's 4 years. It's like you do 50, 60,000 of these or whatever, but then you're going to have somebody there babying this thing. Right. Make sure that, it could get really expensive. Yeah, and that's the part.
I appreciate the commitment that you have, to your product. That's admirable too.
Thank you.
With that, we're going to take a short break. Come back. We're going to talk about some big cigar questions.
All right.
With our panel today. So stay tuned. We'll be right back.